Drop Fever is live in Raid Shadow Legends, and while it's not the most important one to farm for newer players or free-to-play budget players, it's still a good one. And in this video, I want to talk a little bit about why both are true or not. What is up, Raiders of Teleria? My name is Charlie. This is New Raiders Only, and in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about dungeon farming, and of course, we have the active Ninja Turtles collaboration, and that's a little bit about why we are here, why we're discussing this. I just want to make sure that people aren't forgetting, that are not missing this. The Ice Golem dungeon is not really that good of a place to farm items. I mean, it is, but it's not the favorite for new players. You really need to get a bunch of items. You need to get to level 13 as quickly as you can, and get as many items as you can out of there. Whenever, you know, it's a Drop Fever event, yeah, it's all well and good. But we have this Ice Golem tournament that rewards you the pizza slices, right, which is a currency. You can't go wrong with the chickens and the books and you know, if you can happen to get the top 3, that's also pretty solid. You know, and all this is in the service of trying to get Donatello Perfect Soul, which, you know, you need 100 of those pizza points in order to get the first milestone. And of course, you can claw your way all the way up to a 3 and then a 5-star Perfect Soul, which, you know, that's ultimately the prize right there. You have a lot of stuff that's happening, and you got 5 days, 8 hours left in this. So absolutely go crazy with the Ice Golem tournament. The Shredder's Wrath tournament, you know, most of us have already ground that out, but it is still worth chasing a little bit. Just note that it doesn't have any of the pizza rewards beyond 600. You know, again, the chickens and the gold chest is pretty good. You know, it's just spending your energy there as a budget player, I'm not so sure about. Now, you only want to use your energy on dungeons during the Drop Fever activities, and really the big big two really is Dragon's Lair for speed artifacts, and that is it. Like, that is it. You can get good speed artifacts out of here. Again, you're going to want to get to tier 13. I'll talk about why in just a second. But the Fire Knight's Castle is actually a little bit nicer. This is where you're going to get the Savage and some of the other good opportunities out of here. Frenzy, crit damage, the Fury. There's a lot of really good opportunities in the Fire Knight's Castle. So I always try to spend a ton of energy or whatever energy I have available left over in the Fire Knight's Castle during the, you know, the applicable events. Sometimes the Drop Fever is better than others, but generally speaking, there's some really good sets in here. Now, before I go into the other place to discuss where the, you know, the new player, the free-to-play, the budget player can get items, I do want to discuss the stage bonus difficulty. I want you to pay attention to the treasure chests here. If you see here, you can see that stage 6, you can get a 3 or a 4-star artifacts, right? And then stage 7, you can get 3 to 5 stars. Stage 9 is also 3 to 5 stars, but it costs 24 energy. Stage 7 costs 20 energy. So you want to pay attention to these breakpoints. 3-5 is a big time breakpoint because it's the first stage where you can get 5-star artifacts. Stage 9 does not give you a better chance at getting 5-star artifacts. So you might as well just spend your energy, save your energy, be more efficient with your energy, and farm stage 7 instead. Stage 13 is the next breakpoint for the same talk, the same conversation. The first stage that you can get the level 6 artifacts is right here, and all the way up to stage 19, 4 to 6, it's all the same. It's all the same energy consumption, level 13 all the way up to 19. Now 20 is the big one that you should strive for. This is where you can kind of start to tickle the end game or get to the upper levels of building your champions, because that is when the drop rate increases from 4 to 6 to 5 to 6 only, which means you have a higher chance of getting higher end artifacts, 5 stars at least, but obviously you're chasing those 6-star artifacts. Now, the other thing that you're going to want to chase as a new player is the faction wars. Okay, now these dungeons, or whatever you want to call them, crypts, excuse me, these crypts, they're on a rotation. So you can see right now the Dwarf Crypt and the Barbarian Crypt is open. This is actually a really good opportunity to discuss a collaboration that I have with Raid Shadow Legends, because you can get for absolutely free Tholen Foulbeard, a legendary attack dwarf, absolutely for free. All you got to do is be a brand new player and use the URL in the description box down below in order to start your account, download the game, all of that. Simply logging into the game and finishing the tutorial, you're going to get Corrado Foxhunter, who is pretty legendary in his own way. But then on day one, since this is not a promo code, you can use the code Demon Slayer in order to get the legendary attack dwarf Tholen Foulbeard. Now you use this guy and then, you know, another dwarf here and there. By the way, as you continue to level up your account, 7 days into building your account, you're going to get access to the free chase champion. Right now it's Michelangelo that's active. Michelangelo is a pretty solid attacking champion as well, though not quite as good as Tholen Foulbeard, and he's a bannerman, so you'll have to put him in his own crypto war or faction war, excuse me. So 3 legendary champions by the end of the first week. Corrado Foxhunter, the Shadowkin, you've got the dwarf Tholen Foulbeard, and of course Michelangelo, who is a Banner Lord, absolutely for free. And then as you continue to level up your account, you're going to get a couple of other epic support champions, Uugo and Tagoar, as well as an additional dwarf, the Grizzled Jarl. This is going to be the tank for your account. You're going to have a handful of attacking champions, a handful of support champions, and a pretty solid tank in the Grizzled Jarl. So taking that back into the faction wars, you can see the dwarf crypt here. As you get higher and higher and higher, you're going to get more and more resources to craft your own artifacts, and crafting your own artifacts deserves its entirely own video. But you go into the forge and you choose which set you're trying to craft. So for example, perception is accuracy. Speed, this is a very, very popular set. Bloodthirst is another popular one. Fortitude for your tanks. Lethal. Instinct is also a pretty popular one. 12% speed for 4 pieces and ignoring 20% of enemy defense. The faction wars, even when you have 2 champions, get one, like your starter, like Tholen, get him up there, get him to like level 60, level 50, you know, get him some solid artifacts out of the, the speed artifacts or the savage artifacts from the Fire Knight, or, you know, whatever. And the same kind of rule applies. You can see that stage 7 has the 1 to 3 star of the materials, right? Of the glyphs, excuse me. And then stage 10, it's 2 to 4, but you know, stage 11, 12, and stage 11 and 12 are also 2 to 4. You're going to want to pay attention to these breakpoints in order to be the most efficient possible. And that's the name of the game in, you know, Raid Shadow Legends, is how to be the most efficient possible, especially if you are a budget or free-to-play player. No. Let me know in the comment section down below. Are you chasing Donatello? Are you dumping energy into the Ice Golem's Peak for the cursed artifacts? 50% chance to place Hex debuff for 2 turns is okay. It is a 4 set, and it's not really my favorite, but it is it's not bad. You know what? You know, you're gonna have to farm it anyway, right? For those pizza slices. I love you all. Good luck in Teleria.